Alright class, today we're going to work on the Module 6 review, Side 1 and Side 2. Try to do at least one problem for every section. Hopefully that helps out. I'll leave any questions, comments, or concerns for you guys. Give me 1 second. I want to start my timer just so I know how much time we have. So, for number one and two are really, really easy, and they're pretty simple. I'm gonna do number one just because you guys freak out about that, like, or not that you guys freak out, but if I show you how to do number two, you're gonna freak out that number one doesn't have a plus number. But what you're gonna notice is that it's actually the same process. It's just that this one has an extra number at the end. So you know that the polygons are similar. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna compare them. So I know 16 goes with 4x, so I'm going to do 4x first over 16. And then I know the other two are similar. Since I picked 4x first, that means I have to pick 21 first over 14. Yes, you're going to cross multiply. So multiply those two numbers, multiply those two numbers. Give me a sec while I put that in my calculator. You guys can find 16 times 21 for me. So 4 times 14 is 56. If you guys found 21 times 16, you should have got 336. You want to find what x is. So you're going to divide both sides by 56. So 336 divided by 56 should get you 6. That's your answer. What you should have noticed on number 2 is what you should have noticed on number 2 is that when you multiply, like this side part here, when you multiply 4x and 14, just remember you have to distribute. So multiply by 2x and then multiply 3. So 12 has to multiply both parts of this step. I'm not going to do it just because I know you guys can do it. Next section, solve for x. So this is the triangle. So first part was similarity. It was just regular similarities that you should understand. The second part, solve for x. This was about triangle proportionality theorem. So this is the one that if you have a triangle, you should notice that, oh, it's proportional. So I'm going to do number 5 because I feel like this one's going to be the most confusing. So remember, we want to find x. So we want to find that missing side. So if I go straight across, that's proportional to 4. So 3x minus 1 is proportional to 4. Oh, right. You might need space, so you might, if I were you, grab another piece of paper to do this. So pause the video, grab another piece of paper if you feel like, oh, I need space for this. Now, obviously, since I picked 3x minus 1 first, that means I have to pick 4 first, next. If I go straight across, I'll notice I don't know what this side is. But what I do know is that the whole thing is 6, and this short side is 4. So if the whole thing is 6, and I know part of it's 4, then that little spot here is 2. So then this is going to be 4 over 2. Cross multiply, and you should get 2 times 3x minus 1 is equal to 16. 4 times 4 is 16. If I were you, if you're still stuck on number 2 and you're like, I really don't know if I did this right, I'm going to tell you now the exact same process that I'm doing right now, where you're going to distribute this here. That's what you're going to do when you multiply 12 with 2x plus 3. So if you're wondering how you're going to do it, this is the exact same process. So then here, I don't know why I put an equal sign there. Ignore that. Here you need to distribute this. So if you distribute that, you'll get 2 times 3, which is 6x. 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. That's going to get you 16. Add 2 both sides. Cancels out. You'll be left with 6x is equal to 18. Divide by 6. X is equal to 3. Okay, not bad, right? It's just your simple proportionality statements. Now, fun stuff. Now we're going to talk about SOHCAHTOA. Here, we're going to do, we need to find the missing side. So all you're given is one angle, one side, and you want to find x. Don't forget to round to the nearest tenth for these. So here, let's think about this. So we're going to use the angle they give us as our angle of reference. So we're going to use angle 58. So we need to use sine, cosine, tangent. And if you remember, that's so, ca, toa. So if I use angle 58, I know that 18 is it's right next to 58, so it's either going to be adjacent or hypotenuse. But if I notice here, I have my right angle. If I go straight across, I hit 18, so that's my hypotenuse. So I need to pick one that has hypotenuse. So that means automatically tangent doesn't work. So both have hypotenuse, so it has to be one of these. Okay, well if I look at x, well that one's also next to 58. So that means this has to be the adjacent, because it's not the hypotenuse. We already used that one. So that means sine is off. We're going to use cosine. So let me move this out of the way. So we're going to have cosine of 58 is equal to, now this is adjacent over hypotenuse. This is really nice because you want to get x by itself. We haven't really seen too many of these, but what you're going to notice is this is super easy. This is probably easier than the way you guys have seen in the past. Because here, I want to get x by itself. So all you're going to do is you just multiply. That's it. Multiply the two. Cancel out here. You're going to be left with x. And on the left side, you're going to have 18 times cosine of 58. Type that in your calculator. And you're going to get 18 times cosine of 58 is equal to 9.53. And what it says is round to nearest tenth. So that means you need to stop at 9.5. We're going to look at 3 to see that, okay, that's 4 below. So my answer is going to be x equals 9.5 because it's going to stay the same number. And there we go. That's all you need to do for these. You're either going to use sine, cosine, or tangent for these. Alright, good stuff. Alright, next one. Find the measure of the indicated angle to the nearest degree. So here, we want to find the measure of the angle. And we want to round to the nearest degree. All that means if we have 23.7 something, like 8, we're going to round this up because of the 7, so it's going to be 24 degrees. That's all they're saying here. Round to the nearest whole number, basically. So I'm going to do 14. So we want to know this angle here. Since they put a question mark, I want you guys to name it. Let's just name it A, just to be easy. Angle A. So I want to know what angle A is. Do that for all of them. Just name them A, B, C. It doesn't really matter. Just give it a name. That way you don't have to use sign question mark because it sounds weird. So for 13, I know that's, I want to find angle A, and all I know is that 3 is there and that's 7. So I want to, actually I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to do 12 because 13 is very similar to the one we just did. So I'm going to use 12. Again, call it A. So I want to know angle A. So I'm again going to use sine, cosine, tangent. So I know 22, if I go directly across, that's my opposite side. And if I go directly across from the right angle, that's my hypotenuse. So I know that I have my opposite side and my hypotenuse. So if I go to SOHCAHTOA, well, cosine doesn't work because that has adjacent, but sine works, so we're going to use sine. So sine of A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, well we want to get A by itself. So that means I have to get rid of sine. Well, the opposite of sine is inverse sine. So we're going to take the inverse of both sides. If you take the inverse of both sides, so sine inverse of sine of A, let me do it a different color, make it stand out more. Sine of A is equal to the inverse sine of 22 over 35. These cancel out, so you're left with A. And on the right side, you're just going to be left with the same thing. So sine inverse sine of 22 over 35. Plug that in the calculator. So make sure you hit the shift button. If you don't see the -1, then you did it wrong. Make sure you put the parentheses. And you should get 38.9, which they told us to round up to the nearest degree. So that's 39 degrees. So angle A is 39 degrees. Again, as you notice, there's not a lot of space. I did that on purpose so you have a lot of examples. So please write them. Please write them. Please do them on another sheet of paper if you run out of space. Highly recommend that. All right. So next side. I'm only going to do one just because for the sake of time, I'm already at 10 minutes. So I'm going to do number 1. Actually, no, because I did number one on, I did a problem like number 1 on your guys' video yesterday. So I'm going to do problem number 7. So number 7. So here I'm given 2 sides. So I want to know all the sides and angles. So I want to know angle A, angle B, angle C, and those are all capital letters. And then I want to know side A, side B, side C. These all have to be lowercase letters. So, like always, you have 3 freebies. You know these 2 sides, and I know that angle. So I automatically know C is 90 degrees. And remember, you have to go opposites. So if I go opposite to C, angle C, I know that 7 is C. If I go opposite to B, I know angle or side angle B is opposite to B, so that's 4. And then we don't know what A is. But just like before, you guys know, oh, to find side B, I need to use Pythagorean theorem. I know 2 sides already. So 4 squared plus A squared is equal to 7 squared. This is 16. That's A squared. That's 49. I want to get A squared by itself, so I hope you're saying I should subtract, because you are. So 49 minus 16 is going to get you 33. Take the square root of 33, and you're going to get 5.7. So here, you're going to, and I put 5.7 because, yeah, they want you to round to the nearest 10. So this is 5.7. Okay, now I want to find angles. Here's the thing though. To find angles, you need to use the 2, I recommend you use the 2 whole numbers because they are the most accurate. So I'm going to pick any angle. I'm going to pick angle B, just because you guys always choose angle A. Like you guys like to go in order, so I want to be different. I'm going to choose angle B. So I want to know angle B. So I know that 4 is my opposite because we said that earlier. It's the opposite side. If they're the same letter, then that's opposite sides. And H, or 7 is my hypotenuse. That's why I said H. Okay, so let's think about this. It's sine, cosine, tangent. One of these has opposite and hypotenuse. If I think about this, opposite hypotenuse, well, that makes an O. So sine. We're going to use sine. So sine of B is equal to 4 over 7. This is just like before. I want to get B by itself. So I need to get rid of sine. So I need to take the sine inverse. So sine inverse of 4 over 7 is going to be my number. So inverse sine, 4 divided by 7. And put your parentheses, make sure you use the shift button. And you should get 34, let me do a different color so it pops more. 34.8 degrees. So to get angle A, just remember, there's a shortcut is you could do 180. Actually, let's just do that. 180 minus 90 minus 34.8. And you should get 55.2 degrees. There you go. Pretty straightforward stuff. Hopefully that helps. I'm already reaching now to 60 minutes, so I'm going to stop right here. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I'll be busy, but I'll try my best to reply back as soon as possible. I will see you guys soon. Talk to you guys later.